The US troops have left under a hail of hate. Stones and vegetables thrown in disgust.
It's the biggest betrayal in the history. We will never forget that.
And bitter words from their former partners, which may come back to haunt the Americans. A few hundred US soldiers are expected to stay inside North Syria, guarding the oil fields rather than the Kurdish people or fighters, so they're not taken over by IS. In Turkey, the clock is ticking, and the country's president and his ministers are keeping count, with the deadline for the Kurdish withdrawal fast running out.
So we have 35 hours left. If they don't withdraw, our operation will restart.
Turkish-backed forces have now moved into the Syrian border town of Ras Al Ain, which seems to be empty of its citizens. 2 weeks ago, it was packed with people. The YPG bases have been deserted by their fighters. But they seem to have taken all their weaponry with them, and that won't satisfy the Turks, who made it a stipulation of the pause in fighting. Home after home is now empty, with Kurdish commanders calling it the biggest ethnic cleansing operation of the 21st century, carried out in front of the American army's eyes. In the midst of this are hundreds of children in 3 YPG camps. At least 60 are thought to be British. Earlier this year, we spoke to British mothers accused of being IS in Al Roj camp and too scared to be identified.
We've had to speak out against ISIS, and that's very dangerous. We're still in Syria.
Yeah, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not out of here.
One charity says the children urgently need to be repatriated.
These children have had no hand in this. They were born to this. They found themselves suddenly in somewhere in the middle of Syria. They don't, in some cases, don't know why they are here. And now, as a global community, we're telling them we don't want you because we don't know what your parents may or may not have done.
And now there are worries that access to the camps will be lost after the Kurds struck a deal with the Syrian regime. Alex Crawford, Sky News in Turkey.